Papa Pepper, my garden philosophy, a place to be.
Alright guys, Papa Pepper. If you noticed last night I was actually planting my Malabar spinach. After sunset today, I'm gardening in the rain. A lot of thunder and lightning, but it's off in the distance. Right now we just got a cool, nice drizzle, so rather enjoying that. A lot of times I garden in a wet t-shirt anyway, because it gets so sweaty. But not today. Today it's the rain. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about my philosophy with gardening, or really philosophy with creating a garden, and then also kind of some of the reasons that I kind of design things the way that I do. If you notice, I've got a couple wire trellises running that way, and this one runs perpendicular to it. We've got some long raised beds running this way, and some that run perpendicular to it. Here you've got a nice shot at our one kind of arbor, our gourd tunnel. We're going to have snake gourds and birdhouse gourds. Then behind it's a Chinese noodle bean hoop. And then over here, heading the opposite way, we have a cucumber hoop. Okay, bent over cattle panel for cucumbers. Not far behind that, we've got one going the opposite direction. So again, things are perpendicular to one another. And then we have some things that are kind of nice and square, kind of more grid-like. Then you've got some weird-shaped ones that fit into the mix too. So part of my gardening philosophy in creating a garden is really that a garden is more than just a place to grow food. It's a place to be. It's somewhere to be, somewhere to enjoy, somewhere to sit, somewhere to think, somewhere to find worms, somewhere to enjoy. And since it's a place to be, it's not only a place to be for people, although that's kind of part of the reason I'm doing things the way that I am, but it's also somewhere to be for animals. There's a lot of life in this garden beyond the plants, and it's somewhere for them to be too. So some of the things I do incorporate into the thing with my natural rock is that some of these rock piles are really great for lizards. They're great for spiders. They're great for snakes. There's just a lot of places to be. Part of that kind of works into our whole organic pest control thing, where we have a garden really as a place to be for animals and allow them to function and do what they're supposed to do, both above and below the surface. Because even things like the worm snakes here, the worm snakes primarily eat worms, but they're gliding around underneath the dirt as well. And while they're eating up the worms, which are smaller than them because they're eating them, they're also, aerating the soil. They're making tunnels. They're making places for water to get through, air to get through, different things to be happening. So there's not really going to be any straight paths that go on for too long in my garden. One reason I talked about recently was just erosion. I don't want any long water shooting directly through the garden. So if I can have things staggered like this, where anytime they run a little bit, they run into another wall, run into another raised bed, then they can't really build up any speed. That's going to be good. But also, when a person's in here, they've got to wander quite a bit. I noticed to get from point A to point B, and it's part of the way I'm making it, that there's a lot of twisting and turning and moving around. And what that does is that just kind of makes it somewhere you're going to be longer. It's supposed to be somewhere, yes, it's a lot of work. I'm usually dirty. There's usually dirt under my fingernails. There's usually, blood, sweat, and tears and things like that going on. But it's a place to relax. It's a place to enjoy. It's a place to kind of get out of the concrete jungle, get away from the office, get away from the city, get away from other things, and just enjoy kind of reconnecting to the world around me. So yes, it's a place to grow food, but it's a place to relax. I've got an opening up over there where I'm not going to put a raised bed. I'm going to build a little bench and stuff like that. There's a couple other things I'm going to incorporate into here. I'm thinking I'm still going to put a small pond in this area and some other areas, but just not only to retain water, because water is life for a lot of things, but somewhere also for stuff to live, whether it's snakes and frogs and baby turtles and other things, fish, but just somewhere to live, somewhere for the lizards and other things running around to be able to stop and get a drink. And I really like the way this is coming together. A lot of the stuff is temporary beds, but some things are more permanent too. I'm trying things like growing some grapes in a slightly larger bed than I would need for grapes, with strawberries all around them. One over here I've got is some currants, which are going to be like the bush level, and then you got some strawberries, which are going to be like the ground cover level, and then you've got some apricot trees, which are going to be the upper story of that. So just kind of a miniature little food forest type area in just one raised bed, where hopefully once I do that once, I'm not going to need to do that again because it's a permanent bed. And a lot of things we're establishing like that. I'll do an update on my hops in the near future, but you can see they're running up. There we go. We're running up the vine, so the vines, pretty cool. And we still got a lot of things to be putting in: service berries, mulberries, other things. You can see the Jacob sheep in the pasture behind us, enjoying themselves in the drizzle. So it's coming together, but I mean, you hear it right now, right? You hear the birds, you hear the rolling thunder, you hear the drizzle of the rain, you hear the breeze. There goes a butterfly. The breeze and the leaves of the trees. You got the sheep over in the, just over yonder. If I go, "Meh!" Yeah, nobody really answered me. But it's just a peaceful, wonderful place to be. There you go, place to relax. And as you can see from Monster Truck here, you know, this straight line of run is broken up by a raised bed before it continues on down. We're just going to fit more of that stuff into here. So we'll see. It's coming together. Like I said, there's a lot of movement right now. A lot of the movement is manpower movement. So you see a ton of buckets in use. But we're moving forward. We're having fun. I've got my site for my kiwi trellis, my kiwi arbor, my kiwi tunnel. That's going to be great, and we'll see what happens moving forward. But anyway, that's why, like I was saying, you just, part of my philosophy, it's somewhere to be, it's somewhere to relax, it's somewhere, you know, I don't have to run from point A to point B quick. I can have weird paths around. It can be kind of like a maze. Weren't mazes fun as a kid? Whatever happened to that? You just had the time to sit there and wander on a sheet of paper between a couple lines trying to figure out how to get to the other side. Well, life shouldn't all be like that, but it sure can be fun when you've got the privilege, the opportunity, the whatever it may be to do that. And then, as you see right now too, this is pretty bare. A lot of brown and white buckets, but the brown, just the compost, the mulch, and the rocks. But soon enough, we're going to be really lively and really green here, hopefully. All right, pop out.
As always, I'm Papa Pepper, and I'd like to remind you, don't post for free. If you'd like to be part of a revolution in social media, an economic power to the people where users can actually blog for cryptocurrency, then I'd recommend that you check out Steemit.com and join the revolution. Papa out.